I picked out from my collection the #1 drugstore product in every category, and I'm just gonna be doing a look with all of this makeup. Probably I'm not gonna be able to put all of this on my face because I have different lip products, different single eyeshadows, different eye products, so it's gonna be a little bit much to do it all. But I just wanted to grab out my favorites and just use that to do a look, to do some makeup, to give you some inspiration, because I'm also gonna go back into some older favorites, but there are also some newer products in here. So let's get into it. Okay, so I've done nothing to my face. I'm gonna clip my hair back so it won't be in the way, hopefully. Gonna sip some tea. Alright, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna apply some eye primer. This is the Milani eyeshadow primer Longwear Shadow Base. The reason that this is my favorite is because this is one of the very few eye primers that doesn't make my eyeshadow crease. This eyeshadow primer is like cement. It is not for dry lids, it's for very oily lids. That's why it works on me. I don't think this is probably the best eyeshadow primer. By the way, I always shake it up a little bit. I don't think this is the best eyeshadow primer there exists in the world, because I do feel like since I've started using this, my eyeshadow has blended a little bit less easily. I've noticed some issues with blending here and there, but at least it stays on. Like, I can have perfectly blended eyeshadow, but if it creases in 2 hours, then what is the point? So this is what I'm using right now every day for my eyeshadow. I used to wear another one, but that one isn't working for me anymore. So this is the eye primer of today, of every day actually. I don't have any other one that works for me, but I think it's good enough. I'm gonna see if there's something else out there for me. I've tried some different ones, but they never work. Then for the eye products that I've picked out for my collection, first up, I think my favorite drugstore eyeshadow palette is gonna be the Revolution Cherry Rebel eyeshadow palette. I ranked this really high in my 2024 eyeshadow palette ranking, and it's just a really beautiful palette. It has cool tones, it has some browns, but it also has some pops of color that makes it a little bit more interesting. With some light mattes, we have dark mattes. It goes from light to deep in both shimmers and mattes. Like, there is so much that you can do with this. I've done some really cute looks with this, and I just really enjoy it. I think this is a great quality palette. And then for like single eyeshadows, I'm gonna give it to Catrice Space Glam Chrome. We have 6 eyeshadows now in this range, and I think my favorite is gonna be this one. This is the one in Galaxy Lights 030, and usually I am not that into warm tone greens, but this is just such a beautiful eyeshadow that I decided to pick this one anyway. It's like a warm to a cool green to a blue. It's really, really beautiful, very shifty, not too thick, not too glittery. I really love this range. And then for liquid eyeshadow, I'm also gonna give it to Catrice. This is the Space Glam Liquid Chrome eyeshadow, and this is one that's kind of like a reddish brown to a green. Really beautiful in combination with kind of like more neutral eyeshadows. Really gorgeous. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to use all of this, but I did want to show you the options that I picked out, like my true favorites. I try a lot of drugstore makeup. If you don't know me, that is basically what I do here on my channel. Also, European brands, drugstore brands, and indie brands. Like a mix of that. That's my thing. I think I'm gonna go pretty neutral, and then I might combine it with that liquid eyeshadow. So I think I'm gonna start out with Heroine. And now my primer is already dry. This shade is not gonna be super deep. It's just gonna be something to start the crease out with. And I'm just using a bigger fluffy brush. It's been a little while since I used this palette, so I'm pretty excited that I can use it again. By the way, I just realized that I don't have my favorite lip balm. I was kind of thinking I want to put on my favorite lip balm. I don't have it with me because I lost it and I have to buy it again. It's the one from Essence, the Peptide Clear one. It's so good. But basically that whole line, the whole Peptide line, those are my favorite lip balms. I really, really like those. So those are also a category. So that is the first eyeshadow. I'm gonna grab another brush for a darker shade. I really need to wash my brushes. I keep forgetting it, then I start filming, and then I regret my decisions. So here is the shade Outlaw. I'm just gonna use that in the outer corner over here. I just feel like this is a really well thought out palette, and the shades work well. Like, I can do really pretty looks with this where I don't really have to put in a lot of effort to make it work. It just works. I really like these colors. Like, this is really nice. Like that taupey shade. I really think the blend looks really good. I really like it. And I feel like I'm starting to see some more people like starting to open up when it comes to Makeup Revolution. in the YouTube space. And that's also really how I feel. I feel like they've been stepping it up. It's not just a dupe brand anymore. Like sometimes they can do something a little dupe-esque, but they're doing a lot of great things just on their own, just with their own releases. And by the way, I also really love the icon palettes by Makeup Revolution. I did multiple videos with different icon palettes, but I also did a video with the first 4. If you're interested in my opinion and my looks with those, just blending the edges. And the lower lash line I'm gonna do after I've done my face makeup. I want to go into the shade called Riot. I believe this is more of a satin shade, but I'm gonna apply it with my finger. Well, it's a creamy satin. It does have, yeah, it's a metallic. It's a metallic. It looked a little bit more satin in the pan, and I just think the shimmers in here are really lovely. This is more on the warm tone side. A little bit more fiery. That's a beautiful shimmer. Gonna go back in with a little bit of that brown for the outer corner. Going back over the edges. So this is gonna go a little bit more in a warmer direction, but of course we're also gonna use the Space Glam Liquid Chrome. And this one is also a little bit on the warmer side. So I think it's gonna match. Like this looks so cool on the wand. I'm gonna try and blend this with my finger. Just look at that. That looks so cool. Such a bright green flip. Very, very beautiful. And it's a little bit of a sheer liquid eyeshadow, so it's not gonna look super chunky or anything like that. And the shadow that you have underneath, if you have any, is gonna shine through a little bit. This look is kind of making me think of like Aliens and Mars. I think that's just such a beautiful liquid eyeshadow. It's so easy to use because it's more sheer. I don't feel like it becomes weird or gloopy. Going back in with a little bit more of that shade Riot, because I feel like I lost that shimmer a little bit. I hope this is gonna be okay. Okay, so while that dries, I'm gonna show you the eyeliners that I picked. First up, I picked the Catrice Metallic Eye Pencil. This is from their holiday collection. I don't know if it's still available. I think you might be still able to find this online, but I just couldn't not mention this. This is a metallic green eye pencil that is just so smooth, creamy, lovely. It's amazing. And I also grabbed the Duochrome liners by Makeup Revolution. I think these are great quality. Very shifty, creamy, they last a long time. I have 2 of the shade, but I'm kind of thinking maybe I should buy more. And I'm kind of thinking what I should do. I might just apply a little bit of this shifty purple because I don't feel like it's too purple to work with this look. It has a little bit of a gray base to it, so maybe I'll just play around a little bit with that. I'm just experimenting a little bit with products that I already know. It might end up being really fun, real nice. Okay, so I think this is almost dry, kind of dry. So let's see if this is gonna look good. Like it's a little bit of a muted, more grayish purple. I think this is such a lovely liner formula. I don't really hear anyone talking about them, but they're so nice. Okay, now I'm gonna stop with the eye look. I'm gonna do the face first and then I'm gonna finish it. So my favorite primer nowadays is the Revolution Super Base. This is super thick, emollient, kind of oily feeling, but I have very dry skin, so it never stays like a layer on my skin. It really does like sink in and it doesn't remain on the skin, and it just makes my skin feel and look really good. I also have used a more sticky primer in the past, but for me, like my skin concerns are really that my skin is dry and sensitive, and this doesn't irritate my skin and it just really nicely hydrated. So this one is basically empty. Look at that. I have used, I think, 2 or 3 of these already. Like I'm using this one a lot. Also as a day cream, also as a night cream. Today I'm actually wearing a different day cream, but I can just apply a little bit of this one. This one still has some in it. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit because I already have some skincare on. Just grabbing a little bit with the back of my nail and just rubbing that in my skin. My skin has been doing pretty good lately. I've been paying attention to it, and a little on the forehead. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend this one for if you have oily skin. It's just very thick and emollient. And now that we're at the hydration step, I'm just gonna pick one of these Super Peptide lip treatments by Essence. These are so good. They are so hydrating, lovely, a little bit glossy, lightly pigmented, so easy to throw on, and they have a slight vanilla scent. And if you know Essence, they don't always have the best scents. At least according to me, I feel like they're often quite artificial, chemical. So I'm gonna apply the shade Coralized. So it's a bit of a warmer pink. Not super coral in my opinion. Look at that glossiness. I'm almost out of the clear one, but I cannot find it. I have to look for it a little bit more deliberately, consciously. Alright, I think the cream has sunken in, so that was about 5 minutes. And my favorite skin product by far from the drugstore is the Catrice Soft Glam Filter Stick Glow Booster. This lasts so well on me, blends so easily. The shade that I have works really well for me. This is shade 010 Fair Light. It is just so easy to use, it lasts, and it's not irritating my skin. It just blends so easily. I never have any creasing with this one. It feels very lightweight. It doesn't have any fragrance, which is perfect for me because I am allergic to fragrance. Sometimes I will wear products on my face, not in my creams, never in my creams, but I sometimes will have makeup on my face that has fragrance. But if something has fragrance like this, then I cannot wear it every day because then there will be like an irritation buildup. So I'm really happy with this one. I always get questions how I feel about this one compared to like liquid versions of this. I feel like this lasts better and it blends more easily. I just feel like the liquid versions, they can crease a little bit over here when I'm like laughing, talking, smiling. I can get some like creases here, and with this one that doesn't happen. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this. I've already used a bunch of this and this has come out pretty recently, I think. I think this product might be a few months old. So, and also this one is kind of like a similar type of product to the Charlotte Tilbury one, but the Charlotte Tilbury one I cannot build up as far as I can build this one up because this one is a little bit less glowy. So this one doesn't make me look as much of a tin man as the Charlotte Tilbury one. So actually in a way I prefer this one. And it definitely doesn't have the highest coverage. It is a skin tint in a stick. It's not a foundation, but I feel like it makes my skin look really nice, healthy and smooth. Like it's all I really need. I just want a light coverage that makes everything look a little bit more even. That's what I want on my skin. That's what I want. That's what I want in my life. And yeah, you definitely see the glow. You definitely still see imperfections through it. But I don't know, I just really love how easy this was. Like, it just takes me a minute or so to apply and blend it in. It feels like a minute. It doesn't take a lot of work. Right away, it's already looking really good, and I feel like this is the type of product where you can also just blend it in with your fingers really quickly. Like, it's really easy. Right, for concealer, I feel like I haven't really found my perfect concealer, and I also haven't really found my perfect drugstore concealer. I don't feel like I have tried a concealer that wasn't drugstore probably ever in my life. And I think when it comes to the formula, probably my favorite is gonna be the Liquid Camouflage Concealer, the 12-hour waterproof non-transfer wear. There is something about this formula. This actually looks good on the dry patches that I have under my eyes. Like, I only applied it a little bit right in here and it just smooths it over really nicely. And I also quite like the color of this one. This one is in shade 010. It just works for me. But this does have some perfume in it, which I don't love. I also really enjoy the e.l.f. Camouflage Concealer, the one that has kind of like the brush tip applicator. But I feel like that one can sometimes emphasize my like dry spots a little bit, but I don't feel like this one has any perfume in it. All the words have worn off. I do see it is 23C. That is the shade that I have. I'm gonna use the Camouflage because I haven't found anything that works as well, looks as good under my eyes as this one. It's just the creaminess. I'm kind of thinking I should probably buy a creamy concealer without perfume in it, but every time I buy concealer, it just doesn't look like the best on me. Usually I'm disappointed. And this one doesn't run very light, but that is what I like with my concealer. I don't want it to run very light. I just want it to be basically my skin tone. Maybe it's even a little bit on the dark side right now with it being March and all, but I feel like it just covers things up really nicely. I usually don't really have any issues with this unless I truly have like eczema on my face. That happens as well. Not right now. My skin is doing good. I don't really apply it over here because it creases. Everything creases there. I don't want to powder too much on my face as well. So I'm just accepting that I won't apply anything there. Yeah, I feel like this is just a concealer that makes my under eyes look the most smooth. And I did see some comments when I first tried this out of people saying that this actually emphasized dryness under their eyes. Concealers are always gonna be working differently for different people, foundations as well, and we all have different skin, but for me, I feel like this looks really good. I really enjoy this. And I don't powder it, I just leave it like this. I really like the way my skin is looking right now. Okay, next up is gonna be bronzer, and I grabbed the Catrice Melted Sun Liquid Bronzer. I have two shades. I really like this liquid bronzer formula. It's really blendable, it's really beautiful, it looks really smooth. I do feel like my perfect color would be in between these two. Like this is a little bit more neutral to warm. This one is pretty cool toned. I wish there was something in between these. Maybe they will still come out with it, but this is a great formula. I don't feel like I have an actual like cream bronzer from the drugstore in like a pot. Like how many categories do you need? Do you need like a liquid and a cream bronzer? I guess it's up to me to decide, but sometimes... Alright, I'm also gonna mention for like the pot more cream product, the Melted Sun Cream Bronzer. This is really nice. The top layer dries out a little bit over time, like this is dried out. So if you don't use it a lot, like I do, which is not good. I should use this more because it's a great bronzer. This top layer, you can just like rub it away a little bit with your finger and then underneath it, it's just gonna be creamy again. This is really bronzy. It really bronzes up the skin so much. It has a really nice skin-like finish, really beautifully blendable. This is a great cream bronzer. And then of course these are from the same line. Catrice does bronzers really well. And I almost grabbed the powder bronzer from Catrice as well, but I decided to go for the NYX Buttermelt Bronzer. This is a really nice kind of like rosy tone to it, and it also is a little bit glowy, and I just love a slightly glowy bronzer. It's a little bit on the pigmented side, but I do like a slightly pigmented bronzer. This is really lovely. I think for today though, I'm not gonna layer these because these are some pigmented products. I think I'm gonna go with one of these Melted Sun liquid bronzers. I think I'm gonna go for the more bronzy look today. I'm feeling that. I, by the way, have videos with all of these products, so if you want to see applications of anything else, it's there. It's on my channel. It's available. Some of the videos are a little bit older, but they are there. And nowadays I don't go too crazy with my bronzer. I like to keep it a little bit subtle, but just look at how easily that blended out. Of course, the base of that skin tint stick helps with it looking more smooth, but that was really easy to do. I think this is a really nice color. Like blended out, it doesn't look as warm as it does like in the packaging. I feel like it blends out to a really nice natural shade on me. And yeah, this is just a little bit more of a bronzy look, but there are also more contour shades. At least for my skin tone. I'm not entirely sure about the full range, like what is going on in the full range of this. I am a big fan of my skin right now. I'm really loving this. Like lately, the skin products that I've been trying have been so good. And I have a lot of great favorites. Before I forget, I'm also gonna use my favorite powder in my collection and also my favorite drugstore powder. This is a Catrice All Matte Plus Shine Control Powder, and this is just a universal powder. It doesn't have any color to it, and it's just very soft, just very like good for a dry skin. When you don't want the powder to right away take away all of the hydration and glow of your skin, I feel like this is such a natural way to slightly blot the skin. So I really like this powder. If you want something very hardcore, then this might not be it, but I really like this or love this. It's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite. Can never go wrong with that one. All right, for blushes, I have multiple options, and one of the reasons for that is that some of this is no longer available. I didn't grab a liquid blush. I'm gonna stop making it so complicated for myself. One thing I have to mention, I have seen this still available online, is the Essence in the Bloomlight Blushlighter. This is so smooth, so beautiful. Every time I feel like I don't know what to do with my cheeks, they don't look good, I sweep a little bit of this over my cheeks and it looks amazing. We have more of a cool tone side and a warm tone side. This is one of the best blushes I've ever used in my life, regardless if it's drugstore or not. This is so good. And then of course we have the Cheek Lover Marbled Blush by Catrice that I have been raving about. I've mentioned this in multiple favorites videos, and also the other shade. It is kind of like that coral to gold shift. I believe that one is discontinued. I don't know if this one is still around, so that's why I have so many options. We also have now the Blush Affair Cream and Powder Palettes by Catrice. These are pretty new in their collection as well. We have a powder on one side and a cream on the other side. This one is a little bit of a nudish toned down rosy shade. This is really beautiful, quite pigmented, but a really nice formula. And then recently I have tried the new Revolution Skin Silk blush stick. This is such a beautiful formula. It's a marble blush stick that comes in, I believe, 5 or 6 shades. Really easy to blend, beautiful pigmentation, natural look on the skin. It's not too glowy, it's not too matte. This is gorgeous. So my official picks right now are these, because I don't know if the other ones are still around, but if you can find them, those are really good. I'm thinking of doing this one, the Duo, because I am kind of like in a more warmer sphere with my makeup and I haven't used it in a little bit. So this was a Blush Affair Cream and Powder Palette, and this is in Peach Passion. I kind of think it's more of a like muted rose, and I'm gonna go in with the cream first, and then after that I'm gonna see if I want anything else, anything more, because these on their own are already pretty pigmented. I also have the bright pink shades, a cool tone pink and a warm tone pink, but those are so bright that I never really layer them on top of each other. It's just too pigmented for my skin. But if you have a deeper skin tone, those colors are actually like really nice as well, which is very bright. This one is a little bit more subtle, but I'm also going in a little bit carefully. I don't want to go overboard too much, but this is just so nice. I really love the color of this. Even though I'm not really into warm tone blushes, I feel like there's still something very like wearable and a little bit more on the rosy side to this, like not too warm terracotta peach. This is just lovely. I think that skin tint stick as a base just also makes things that you put on top look so good. I kind of want to leave it at that for the cheeks. I want to keep the kind of glow that I have going on right now. We also, of course, oh, I need to finish my eye look as well. I can be so all over the place when doing things, when cleaning my house, when doing my makeup, when preparing for filming. Sometimes I just get so distracted. I get so distracted. So I'm gonna finish my eyes. No, you know what? I'm gonna do my brows. I'm gonna do my brows. So I have here the Catrice Slim Matic Ultra Precise Brow Pencil Waterproof, and I have it in the Ash Blonde shade. I have so much Catrice here, but Catrice is just, it's my favorite drugstore brand. Makeup Revolution is getting up there because they are doing a lot of really fun things nowadays. Like Makeup Revolution is really getting me excited. But Catrice, I don't know, they are just a really affordable brand that is really easily accessible for me here in the Netherlands. And they are just like keeping up with the trends. They're doing fun things that are a little bit more elevated than, for example, Essence. I do feel like Essence is a little bit more popular. Like just looking at views and everything and just the general excitement for their collections and updates. But I don't know, Catrice is just my favorite. I've been using Catrice for years. When I first started getting into makeup, I was using Catrice. That was like 17 years ago. Wow, I feel old. So that's the brow pencil. I think it works really well. I really like the color of this. The only thing I would say is that I run out of this pretty quickly, but this is also basically the only brow pencil that I use. I use it basically every day that I do my makeup. And then we also have the Catrice Brow Gel Color and Fix, also in the blonde shade. This one I use every day. This is my brow gel. I love it so much. It has the perfect amount of hold, pigmentation, and it's possible to clean this up. I am someone, I always kind of mess up my brows. I always have to clean up a little bit, and this one is just so easy to clean up. I have tried a lot of brow gels where I feel like, well, that's a pretty nice brow gel. The hold is good, but then when I mess up, I cannot fix it and my brows look messy. I just feel like this makes my brows look full and fluttery. It doesn't make them look too wet, because that also sometimes happens, that the brows look too wet and more like wet glue, and then that takes away from the volume and the fluffiness. And that is not what I want. This brow never wants to listen to me. It always looks a little weird. Okay, I really like my brows with this combo. It's just a tried and true. I cannot really go wrong with this. I never really have issues with it. It's just a great combo. Okay, I need my palette back. It's covered in a pile of makeup. And I'm just gonna grab the shade Heroine for the lower lash line. So that taupey shade. Hope I'm not gonna have fallout. That is just a really nice shade. Really nice basis to have in a palette. And then I'm gonna go into Outlaw again. Very predictable, very boring. Just want that smokiness here on the outer part. I just love these colors. And then for the inner corner, I'm gonna go into the shade Full Moon. This shade might be my favorite shade in the whole palette. It's such a nice, super light, bright lime. It might look like a white, but it's not. And it's so nice for the inner corner. So let's apply that in the inner corner. I'm using a different brush for this than normally, because all my brushes are still dirty. Okay, I'm just gonna use a dirty brush. I just think this is such a fun color to put in a palette like this, because you can use it as an inner corner highlight, and it just has a little bit of an interesting color to it. So brightening with this undertone. All right, I love how this is coming out. I'm kind of thinking, should I do something else on the lower lash line? Should I add a little bit more of a pop? This is kind of like an understated, interesting look. I'm gonna go with the other Duochrome eyeliner that I have from Makeup Revolution. This was the shade Stardust Gold, and I'm just gonna use a little bit of that right underneath here. It just shifts from a green to a peach, and it's so nice. Just look at that. It's such a fun pop. Blending that a little bit. Okay, this is gonna be it for the eye look. For the mascara, I have two options, and I both really love these, but kind of use them in different situations. So I have here the Essence Lash Princess. This is very new. This is the False Lash Effect Mascara Black Brown. This one gives such nice volume. It's a very dark brown color, and it lasts very well on me, but it's a very dark brown color, which is not always my preference. It's a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more harsh. And then we have the Essence Lash Without Limits Brown Extreme Lengthening and Volume Mascara. This is very lengthening, a little bit more of a softer brown, which I do really enjoy, but this one can flake a little bit on me. I have been using this one basically every day now, because it's just very trustworthy, and I've been like going outside of my house. When I stay inside of my house, I'll probably like go for this one. If I go outside of my house, I will go for this one. I think because there's something kind of like soft and understated about this look, I'm gonna go with the OG, my OG favorite, the Lash Without Limits. It's very good. This one is a little bit older, I think. But this one, I tried it out because it was new with one of the Essence updates, and then I ran out of it. I tried to go back to my former favorites, and I just couldn't live without this mascara anymore, because it's just so good. Just the length this gives, and then the soft brown color is really nice for a more natural, soft, rosy look. Just look at the difference. It's not harsh, but it's definitely very lengthening. If you want a lot of volume, then this might not be the first one I would recommend, but length, yes. Okay, so this is about 2 layers of this mascara. I love it. I really love it. It's a great mascara. And then before I do the lower lash line with the mascara, I'm just gonna put a little bit of something in the waterline. I don't have a waterline liner that I want to use from the drugstore right now. Like, this one is 20 euros. It's a little bit more on the expensive side. I wouldn't say this is drugstore. This is from Nabla, the Cupid's Arrow and Cappuccino. But right now, this is just to finish up the look. Sorry if that's cheating. Okay, the lower lash line, and here I have to be really careful because this lengthens my lower lashes so much that it just becomes a little messy sometimes. So I'm just doing a little. I am really loving this makeup. Like, this is what happens when you apply your favorite makeup and everything you use is just your favorite makeup. I am always testing so many products that sometimes, maybe more often than not, I don't really love my makeup like fully 100%. And this is so fun. Should have done this. I kind of want to do this more often. All right, for the highlighter, I have a few options because I also don't feel like all of these are as easily accessible, and also it's a bit hard to choose. So I really love the Beauty Creations Baked Highlighters. This is the one in Party Effect. Such a beautiful, smooth highlighter. Such a beautiful formula. Glass-like on the skin. Absolutely gorgeous. It's just so smooth, skin-like. It has a bit of a sheer base. It is glassy, it is glossy, it is not glittery, and it's also very affordable. Great formula, but it's not like in the drugstore in the Netherlands. By the way, I decided to not put any Kiko Milano in this video. You could say it's drugstore, you could say it's not drugstore, but there's gonna be a separate video with just Kiko Milano products. Kind of like this. And then also Moira is not available in the drugstore in the Netherlands, but you can find it online. This is such a beautiful highlighter formula. This is the Dreamlight highlighter. This is just such a beautiful feel of shimmer. It is not glittery, it is very smooth, but it's kind of similar in a way to the Beauty Creations ones in that it's very smooth, glass-like. It blends in the skin very beautifully. It doesn't have that much of a base, which I really love. My favorite shade is the shade Honeysuckle. This is just such a beautiful kind of like cool toned champagne, a little bit on the lighter side. This suits my skin tone so well. Love these as well. I believe those are a little bit more expensive than the Beauty Creations ones. And then today I'm gonna put this on my face. This is the new Catrice highlighter stick from the Kiss and Glow collection. This is limited edition, but I'm pretty sure this is still available online. Maybe not everywhere, but I do believe I still saw this available, and this is just such a beautiful stick highlighter. So this is just such a natural sheen. It's so beautifully glowy. It is one of the most beautiful highlighters by far that I've ever put on my face. I am just very excited about this highlighter. I think it's so beautiful. This is, and it counts for all of these products. This is not good for the price. This is an actually good product. I feel like all of these products are so good. They are actual favorites. I am a true fan of drugstore makeup. I really am. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this highlighter and apply this carefully with my finger on my cheeks. It is just so subtle but so beautiful. I really love the glow that this gives. So this is with the highlighter and this is without. Like, my skin is already looking pretty glowy, so the difference is not gonna be huge, but I just really love this lit from within. Super glowy glow. It's not glittery, it's not shimmery. It just makes your skin look amazing, and I just love that. Of course you can build it up, but I'm kind of feeling the look as it is now. That's also why I'm picking this product. I didn't want to go with the more intense highlighters for this. So that is a highlighter. Of course my skin was already pretty glowy, but I just think it sinks in, it blends in so seamlessly, and it's so beautiful. And I just wanted to say it now that you might still have the chance to buy it. For the lip products, I have here for the gloss the Catrice Tinted Lip Oil Gloss and Glow. This is the lighter shade. This one has a slight SPF reacting property to it, but I feel like with this one is really beautiful. Usually I'm not the biggest fan of that. We do have deeper shades in this range that are more reactive to your pH and really go really bright. I used to have a brighter shade, I decluttered it. This particular formula and shade I think is so beautiful. So this was the shade 010 Keep It Juicy. This is so hydrating, glossy, thick but not too thick. It just feels so nice and plush on the lips. This is a gorgeous formula. I tend to forget a little bit about this one, but it doesn't deserve it, because when I was looking through my drawer of lip products, I just couldn't deny how good this is. This is so beautiful, glossy and glowy. This is not what I'm going to be putting on my lips right now. What I'm going to be putting on my lips is the new Lip Artist Matte Lipstick and Liner. This is such a beautiful lipstick. This is now my favorite kind of like bullet lipstick, matte lipstick product in the drugstore. This is just so beautiful, so smooth, pigmented, long lasting, feels very comfortable on my dry lips. This is just everything in one. Okay, so this is your shade 010 Always Together. I'm just gonna start with applying the lip liner. To me, this lip liner is like a pretty good lip liner, but it's not like what this product is about for me. Like, it's good. No complaints. By the way, I totally forgot to pick a lip liner. What was I thinking? Or I picked it at some point and then put it back to actually use it, because I've had this basket of Drugstore products in front of me for like 2 months. Okay, here we have Squirrel Marley again. This is the lip liner that I'm gonna choose. Obviously, this is the Catrice Pumping Lip Liner in Queen Vibes. I use this basically every time I do my makeup. I've used this so much that I can't even see in here right now where the lip liner has gone. This is such a good shade for me. It's kind of like, it is like my lips, but a little bit deeper. For me, it suits basically every lip look. It's very long wearing. It is that kind of like creamier formula that then dries down and then stays on the lips. So it's not a formula where you can just keep on applying, keep on fixing it. You do have to work in sections because it's gonna dry down, but it lasts very long. It's a really beautiful shade. I really love how precise this is. It is just such a good lip liner. There are so many good lip liners at the drugstore, but that one is really outstanding, and I have been using that so consistently since I got it. So consistently. Like, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get back to a favorite as a content creator, but with this one, definitely not. Didn't have any issue with that. Okay, so let's apply the lipstick and finally finish this look. So this is kind of like a lighter rosy nude. And I do think that the combination of the liner and the lipstick is so good. It does give the dimension. And yeah, this just has the slightest hint of like a glow. It has a little bit of a satinness to it that I think is very flattering. It doesn't really have a lot of transfer. It lasts quite long, it's comfortable, and it looks really nice and smooth on the lips. So this is gonna be the look. Let me fix my hair. Alright, so this is gonna be the finished look with my #1 products from the drugstore in every category. I had a lot of fun doing my makeup. This came out really cute if you ask me. I'm really excited about it. Hope you enjoyed the video. And then this is gonna be it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.